can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. To be ready. Just that don't you remember positive.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays. On the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the that's the there. And Simon Crosby on Power. And 2 p.m.
Go by and feed them on your dreams. The one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. They love you.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Apologies to those on Facebook and YouTube. Sorry. We perhaps need to change our connection to the device. The connection seems to have gone bad. We won't change it right now because that would interrupt the live streaming on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. We'll do our best to make the change tomorrow, all things being well. I'll send myself a reminder. Sorry about that. You should be hearing us you should be hearing us now. Steve in Toronto, Canada is on YouTube. Seasoned drummer, also on. Adrian Smith. Rose McIntosh in London. Thank you all for joining us. And the others who are joining us. Millicent Graham, good afternoon to you. Norman Hines, hello. Audrey Smith, who is in Southampton in England, says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners, listening and watching from Southampton. That's good to know, Audrey. Thank you. Tony Thomas is tuned in as well. And so too, Velta Wilson in St. Thomas. Good afternoon, Velta Wilson. Cherry Henry. Good afternoon, Cherry Henry. Thank you very much for joining us. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Lots of rain this side of the island. Tar Isle, St. Mary. Stay dry, Miss Cherry. Sham White, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Also, Norman Hines, as we said, he's online as well. Good to have you on board, Norman Hines. Junior Bailey says, no sound. Let me switch over to YouTube. Well, they both get the same audio feed, both Facebook and YouTube, but we're fine now. These messages came in earlier on. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Lynn Bailey, good afternoon to you. Aeon Gale, good afternoon. Herman Bowie Bailey says, hello, Mr. Malcolm. I am in Jamaica. Please hail up everyone at Family Haven Exchange in Ocho Rios, Wayne and Flo Walters, and others. Blessings always. Enjoying my beautiful island, says Herman Bowie Bailey. Welcome home, Herman Bowie Bailey, and we greet the Family Haven Exchange in Ocho Rios, Wayne and Flo Walters and others. Mikey D, thank you for joining us as well. Faye Weller, always a pleasure to have you on board. Blessings to you too. And Velta Wilson is happy the sound is back. And Mikey D. And Norman Hines is also celebrating the fact that the sound is back. Good day to Aston Matafa Jones as well. And we should be good to go now. Chris Ann says, I can hear you, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chris Ann. Thank you very much for joining us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Grace Ann Elizabeth Geddes has joined us. Good afternoon, Grace Ann Elizabeth Geddes. We're taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, you can also call us via WhatsApp, and you can use that same line as a straight line to this side of the glass, as we like to say. That number is 876-365-3346. That's the text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's see who else is messaging us. But before we get back to our messages, let's share with you some useful information. And we're going to tell you, first of all, let's look at where we were last year this time. Last year this time, some of the stories that were teased on the front page of the Gleaner. The girl who came back from the dead, that was a page A2 story teased on the front page of the Gleaner this time last year. COVID-19 infected 12-year-old died in mother's arms. Sadly, that was another of the stories teased. That was actually on page A3, teased on the front page of the Gleaner. The main headline last year this time was 400,000 may be in cyber limbo. Online deficit could leave students behind. And there was a picture of the education minister handing over a laptop to Zenita Brown, a grade 5 student at Brownstown Primary School in St. Anne. Another education-related story was CXC failure sparks probe. Only 6% at JC pass English, 0% at Penwood. Do you remember that dilemma last year this time? I believe eventually CXC cleared that up eventually, and the numbers eventually got better at Jamaica College. Those were the stories trending last year this time. Here's another reminder that it's that time of year when we get the kind of weather that we get, when we have the kind of weather that we have. Here are some examples, and we're going back to, let's go back to 1844. A hurricane hit western parishes in Jamaica on this day in 1844. That was 1844. Now, the hurricane didn't have a name because they weren't naming storms at that time. It was just a hurricane that hit on this day in 1844. Now, let's bring it a little closer to our time. in 2008, the Bogwalk Gorge was reopened. The Bogwalk Gorge was reopened on this day in 2008. The Bogwalk Gorge was severely damaged during the onslaught of Tropical Storm Gustav in August 2008, reducing stretches of the roadway to rubble. Highway contractors Bouygues Travaux Publics fixed the road at their expense. That was 2008. And we could go back 7 years before that to 2001. Again, just to give us an idea that this time of year is usually like this. In 2001, Jamaica was placed on a tropical storm watch on this day in 2001 as tropical depression number 11 strengthened and was upgraded to tropical storm Iris. Do you remember Iris? According to the National Meteorological Service, storm conditions posed a possible threat to the island and its territorial waters within 36 hours. Those were just some of the weather systems that we had to deal with at this time of the year. And also, we know that our public sector, the government is the biggest employer of labor in Jamaica. Well, in 1960, the University College of the West Indies was the largest employer of labor in the corporate area. The University College of the West Indies, obviously now known as the University of the West Indies. Back then, the hospital was called UC because the university was called University College, UC. So that's where you would have heard your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents talking about UC, going to UC, because it was University College. University College eventually became the University of the West Indies. On this day in 1960, or as at this day in 1960, the University College of the West Indies employed, one moment please.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. The Caribbean Maritime University, an ISO certified institution, offers Bachelor of Science degrees in cruise shipping, logistics, engineering, marine tourism, port management, security administration, and management, among others. For further information, contact them 876-924-8150 or 924-8175 or email info@cmu.edu.jm. This Wednesday, October 6th, the Jamaica Stock Exchange presents its Investor Education Week Conference. Join Real Business with Ralston Hyman and Dr. Andrea Sutherland from 9 to 11 a.m. with information on the importance of investing, turning salary into wealth, how to buy and sell shares during COVID, and much more. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Stock Exchange, 40 Harbor Street, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Jamaica Stock Exchange's Investor Education Week Conference this Wednesday, October 6th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on Power 106 FM. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskett from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
We were sharing a bit of history with you with respect to public sector workers uh, being obviously government being the largest employer of labor in Jamaica, we were making the point that back in 1960, the University College of the West Indies, as at this day in 1960, the University College of the West Indies was one of the largest employers of labor in the corporate area. As at this day in 1960, the University College of the West Indies employed 1,042 people. 200 were on the teaching staff, 115 being full-time teachers or lecturers. In addition, the University College Hospital, now known as the University Hospital of the West Indies, employed 700 people, including 300 nurses, and this made the university complex one of the largest employers of labor in the corporate area back in 1960. Here's another bit of information for you. Ken Hill, the former mayor of Kingston and former member of the House of Representatives for Western Kingston, joined the Jamaica Labour Party on this day in 1957. Ken Hill was a member of the PNP up to 1952 when he was expelled and subsequently founded the National Labour Party, under whose banner he contested his West Kingston seat, losing to both the JLP's Hugh Shearer and the PNP's Iris King in 1955. He was the first vice president of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, up to February 1939, held the office of second vice president of the PNP up to 1952, and president of the Trade Union Congress of Jamaica. And he was also assistant editor of Spotlight magazine. That's one of the names that you would associate with political history in this country, Ken Hill. And here is another. Councillor William S. Vernon was enrobed as the first mayor of Montego Bay at Charles Square in the city. Vernon was also the chairman of the St. James Parish Council. So Councillor William S. Vernon was enrobed as the first mayor of Montego Bay at Charles Square in the city. Vernon was also the chairman of the St. James Parish Council, as it was back then. For the first time in Jamaica, the staff of the Bank of Nova Scotia, Barclays Bank, and Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. So let's break it down. Well, Scotia Bank is still here. Barclays Bank is now NCB. Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce is still here. That's CIBC. So for the first time, on this day in 1954, for the first time in Jamaica, the staff of the Bank of Nova Scotia, Barclays Bank, and Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, who had been previously union shy middle-class workers, agreed to be represented by the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU. At the time, it was seen as a great victory for and a breakthrough by its island supervisor. And while we're on that, for those in the United States of America, you should know that on this day in 1947, President Harry Truman made the first ever televised presidential address from the White House. On this day in 1947, President Harry Truman made the first ever televised presidential address from the White House, asking Americans to cut back on their use of grain in order to help starving Europeans. At the time of Truman's food conservation speech, Europe was still recovering from World War II and suffering from famine. Truman, the 33rd Commander-in-Chief, worried that if the U.S. didn't provide food aid, his administration's Marshall Plan for European economic recovery would fall apart. He asked farmers and distillers to reduce grain use and requested that the public voluntarily forego meat on Tuesdays, eggs and poultry on Thursdays, and save a slice of bread each day. Imagine that. President Truman, as part of his Marshall Plan for European economic recovery, asked farmers and distillers to reduce grain use and asked the public to voluntarily give up meat on Tuesdays, eggs and poultry on Thursdays, and save a slice of bread each day. That food program was short-lived, as ultimately the Marshall Plan succeeded in helping to spur economic revitalization and growth in Europe. So Europe and America have a special relationship, apparently. And there's one more. We used to have a very famous rum in Jamaica long before some of the rums that we have come to know. There was a most famous rum called Myers rum. And if you were to go back to watching some old films where they have bars in them, invariably you would see Myers rum. This is a Jamaican rum. Myers rum would be featured in some of these movies. How did this come about? Fred L. Myers, that's where the name comes from. Fred L. Myers, who was a wine and spirit merchant from Kingston. He, in fact, created another bit of history. He published the first advertisement in a Jamaican newspaper, which was illustrated by a drawing of a scene by a Jamaican. Fred L. Myers, wine and spirit merchant of Kingston, published the first advertisement in a Jamaican newspaper, which is illustrated by a drawing of a scene by a Jamaican. The artist was Miss E.M. Hogarth and depicted a large cask of rum, Myers rum, of course, in a cane field in which an Englishman and an American line up with others with their cups to collect a drink of the finest. The advertising line is that people from the world over drink Myers rum. The concept is an outgrowth of the recent All Jamaica Art Exhibition, when Horace V. Myers offered a special prize for the best painting advertising Jamaican rum. Myers selected Miss Hogarth's and others will be publishing them in a series. So we were reading the story as it was printed back then, 1938. You can Google Myers rum. So we had the famous Myers rum, which was highlighted in movies. We also the invention of drinking chocolate came out of Jamaica. We have shared with you that history before. And in fact, what is now Cadbury, or Cadbury's, the chocolate company, they owe a lot to Jamaica. In fact, to this day, I believe they still make a brand, I can't remember what they call it, Old Jamaica chocolate or something like that. If you go to the Cadbury's website and you read their history, you'll find that Jamaica's history is tied up with the history of Cadbury's. Remember, of course, we used to have Highgate chocolate, the world famous Highgate chocolate. And that was another of the, boy, there who's going to write the book on all these brands that we created in Jamaica, to ask the question, where are they now? Where are they now? We we still have a crime problem in Jamaica, no doubt about that. We we had a problem to deal with back in 1720. On this day in 1720, the House of Assembly was informed that Captain Jonathan Barnett had captured the notorious Calico Jack Rackham and 18 of his crew while they were enjoying a party on the Negril Beach in western Jamaica. Calico Jack Rackham, he was called Calico Jack because of his preference for that particular cloth to make his underpants. Yes, made of calico. So that's why they called him Calico Jack. The Assembly, which is now known as the Parliament of Jamaica, back then it was the Assembly, voted a reward of £100 to Captain Barnett and £100 to be shared among his crew. Two members of the crew were Anne Bonny and Mary Reed. So we had women who were involved in bad behavior back in 1720 in Jamaica under the leadership of Calico Jack Rackham. Let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
How are you this afternoon?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Very well, thank you. Good afternoon to your listeners here and overseas. First of all, let me urge my fellow Jamaican citizens to understand the importance of taking the vaccine for the COVID-19 and to ensure that they do so in short order. It will protect their lives, that of their families, and of their fellow Jamaican citizens. I do hope, Dervan, that the vaccines...
Tell us about your hope after the break, please.
That your elders grew wise and so
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is urging Jamaicans to get vaccinated against COVID-19 with the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccines currently available. The next shipment of Pfizer vaccines will be given only to children 12 years and older and to those persons who are due their second dose. To register to become vaccinated, members of the public are encouraged to make their appointments online at moh.gov.jm or call the vaccination call center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskett from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's help did slowly go by, and feed.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. Go ahead and tell us about your hope now.
Thank you very much, Dervan. I do hope that the vaccines that the government is awaiting will come in short order. I would like to discuss with you two issues this afternoon. The first one has to do with crime, and the second one has to do with the DPP's office.
Before you go further, just to alert you that we have a scheduled interview at 3:15. So bear that in mind, please. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to make some suggestions as to how the police force can be made much more efficient and effective. One, much better training is needed for the JCF's investigators and intelligence officers, sub-officers, and supervisors. And what I am recommending is that possibly the Minister of National Security could seek the assistance of the Drug Enforcement Agency, the FBI in the United States, and possibly the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency to assist with the training of the intelligence officers within the police force. The expansion of the community policing program with more officers in place across the 14 parishes. More resources for the police force at the police station level to upgrade and adequately equip the entire intelligence apparatus, including the National Intelligence Bureau and the divisional intelligence units, which spans the 14 parishes. There is a significant problem with the police cleared up rate in Jamaica. It is under 45% presently. That needs to be dealt with. Allow for a more transparent process in terms of promotion within the police force and implement a new policy of appeals for all police officers at the rank and file level, from constable to inspector, who have passed the relevant examination tests for promotion but have been turned down for promotion. We need much more better deployment, allocation, and overall management of the resources within the police force. More utilization of paid police informants. And I think it is very important for us, the fund that is currently in place, for it to be expanded so we can have much more police informants right across Jamaica and in the locations that they're needed. Minister Chang should take to Cabinet for approval a new policy whereby all police officers who work over 40 hours per week are paid for such overtime. Currently, that is not the case. Comprehensive usage of what is called signal intelligence by the police force and by the army, specifically the military intelligence unit. Expand the Jamaica Eye program and link it directly with the army and the police, along with the businesses to which would subscribe to the program. Upgrade the quality of police ballistic vests that are purchased for the police force. I've spoken to a number of police officers at various ranks who have informed me that they are not satisfied with the quality of the vests that are purchased for them. The former Minister of National Security, Peter Bunting, and then Justice Minister Mark Golding, during their tenure, promulgated into law the DNA Act, what is called the Anti-Gang Act, and the scamming laws. That was done within a period of 1.5 years. I think it is very important, Dervan, for much more usage to be made of those laws. Well, we see where those alleged 33 members of an alleged gang operation are in the courts, but I'm hoping that the law will be used right across the country. And I do hope that the Finance and Public Service Minister, Minister Clark, one of Jamaica's most brilliant, hardworking and successful finance ministers from my perspective, can successfully conclude the salary negotiations with the Police Federation. The last time I spoke with you, you made an important and instructive and germane suggestion in terms of, we were speaking about the salary structure of the police force, and you suggested that along with the police force receiving an increase in their base pay, that the government should look at some additional benefits. For example, NHT benefits and car compensation packages. For example, a figure could be determined, for example, 40%, that all police officers at the rank and file level would be able to purchase motor vehicles with a concession duty of 40%, something similar to that. So there is a need for the base pay to be increased, but the overall benefit structure needs to be taken a look at. I am urging the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, this was promised some time ago, to amend the Proceeds of Crime Act to allow the Financial Investigations Division, MOCA and MOCA West, to apply to a Supreme Court justice in chambers for bank account monitoring and unexplained wealth orders.
I think you're going to need another program, though, because I wanted to get in another caller who has been waiting on the line as well before we break at 3:15. That interview should go on up to 3:45. I don't know if you're able to rejoin us then. But from what I'm seeing, it's 3:10 now. We're going to have a time issue.
Okay, Dervan, I'll try to call you back if my schedule allows me at that time. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank
you. So
you.
much.
Sorry about that. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for your patience. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
I did text you a trivia question, but I don't know if you've gotten to it as yet. About which Englishman played cricket and ODI for the West Indies?
Oh, Courtney Brown? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what I want to say quickly, sir, I'm asking Jamaicans, do not harbor this criminal element at your home. Because when the gunmen, they come for them, they're taking everybody. And it's full time for my Jamaican people to wise up and take this thing very seriously. So that's my little plea here, sir. And I'm begging them hard to do that. Just do not harbor these criminals around you. You know them, and they have private line you can call. Nobody know that you call. But we need to take this crime seriously and protect your life and family. My respect, sir.
Thanks for the call.
My pleasure, sir.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. This is Miss Olive, who was calling through earlier on. She's back. Miss Olive, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, my dear friend. How are you doing?
I am giving thanks for life, and you?
Yeah, I'm here hanging in there. Taking it one day at a time. You know how it is, right?
Yes.
However, I should have called yesterday, but your program yesterday was jam-packed with information. So I didn't even think of calling. However, I'm going to do a belated birthday greeting to my daughter, Jacqueline Belro, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. She works with the Ministry of Public Service, and she lives in Caribbean State. So I sent her a text at 12 o'clock last night. Sent her a greeting at 12 o'clock last night. And she came by last night on her way home, and I gave her her gift and wish her all that well. But Christine writes something there about her girl. I'm going to try to see if I can send to you about chatting the person. She is quiet, but she is very active. You have to know her to know the kind of person she is. She's not loud spoken like Christine. Never hear me. But, I just not really keep up the time. But I just need to, as I did already, be sure God's richest blessing, continue being sweet, quiet person she is, even though she's very active in our organization at Caribbean Estate and at Landeman's Prep, even though our children live there a long time. One of them even doing our masters now, but she's still involved with animals. So God bless her, and thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, Miss Olive. All the best.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your call. Well, we're close to the break right now. And as we said, we have a scheduled interview coming up. So just enough time to greet some of you who have joined us since the last time we checked. Bernard Farquharson, good afternoon to you. Blessings to you and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in Detroit, Michigan. Good to have you on board, Bernard Farquharson. Good afternoon to Jessica Malcolm, who tells us it's a wet day where she is. Stay dry, Jessica. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon. Sheila Clark Wallace says, hey, Dervan, blessings. Kindly send birthday greetings to LaSharn Buckner Campbell from Hopewell and New York. Hope LaSharn Buckner Campbell got the message. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. When they go to school, you go to school. How much more homework, Kamar? Why am I want to sleep? And when they succeed, you want the world to know. You send out my picture again, mommy. So what's new with you? Path needs to know. Because as a beneficiary, your child could get a grant of up to $50,000 to attend a post-secondary institution or a bursary worth $100,000 for the degree program. Visit or call the Ministry of Labor and Social Security Path Parish Office. We need to know so your child can grow with Path. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday, right here on Power 106 FM. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID 19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID 19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID 19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID 19 is in sight, and with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. The stock's getting traded. I said, don't you worry.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we say good afternoon to all those who have anything to do with the Wattle and Red Earth Collective, otherwise known as the WARE Collective, an organization that celebrates Jamaica's traditional built environment. And if you're at sea as to what we're talking about, stand by. Perhaps you would have missed an interview or two over the years that we've facilitated, plus a broadcast or two on the subject. And coming up on Sunday, the 17th of August, there will be what is called the WARE Auction, Wattle and Red Earth Collective WARE Auction. And it's an opportunity to celebrate Jamaican art and heritage. And you can get your hands on the catalog of all the amazing artwork that will be on offer. And, well, we have the experts who can tell us all about it, those who are directly involved. We want to introduce to you, first of all, a medical doctor. He's the medical director of radiation oncology at Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin, Illinois. He spent his formative years on a citrus and sugarcane farm in Penance, Clarendon, where he was raised by his grandparents. He obtained a BS in biology at the University of Chicago and his doctorate in medicine at Washington University, St. Louis, Missouri. He completed his residency in radiation oncology at McGill University, Montreal, Canada, and is board certified by the American Board of Radiation Oncology. He also has a home in Potsdam in St. Elizabeth and is deeply entrenched in the community. He has worked with the local chapter of the Lions Club to refurbish the Potsdam Community Center. He has given multiple Jamaica Cancer Society-sponsored talks to the community. He has helped to co-found a 2-week summer arts and enrichment camp for 6 to 8-year-old students, and most recently led a team of U.S. physicians for a 3-day oncology clinic where more than 175 patients were seen and treated free of cost. His hobbies include distance running, gardening, and traveling. He resides in the Chicago area with his wife and daughters. Let's say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Dr. Courtney C. Coke. Good afternoon, Dr. Coke. How are you? Hello? Dr. Coke?
Good afternoon.
There you are. There you are. Welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
You are welcome, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Also online, Jamaican-born award-winning jewelry designer, goldsmith with more than 45 years experience in the field and an extensive international exhibition record, a graduate of the Alberta College of Art and Design in Canada. Her talents have been employed in the field of fashion, film, museum reproduction, arts management, and education. A champion of cultural development through the arts. She is active in several organizations that support artists' development locally and overseas. Now retired as a senior lecturer at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts School of Visual Arts in Jamaica. She currently maintains a private design studio where she creates exquisite, one-of-a-kind jewelry for a loyal and discerning clientele. Her work is represented in private and public collections throughout North America, the Caribbean, and Europe, including work for Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, the Anglican Diocese, and the National Gallery of Jamaica. Please welcome Carol Campbell. Good afternoon, Carol Campbell. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. I'm very well, thank you.
Great. Good to have you on board. And the third of our trio this afternoon is Claudette Lopez Lewis. She's an experienced textile artist, fashion and costume designer, internationally known for her unique, eclectic style. Her extensive international travels and multi-ethnic heritage have added depth to her craft. A graduate of the Fashion Institute of Technology, New York, her talents have been engaged by choreographers, interior designers, and fashion houses worldwide. She has an extensive exhibition record spanning Europe, Africa, and Asia, and has been awarded the Pret-a-Porter Best Design for the Caribbean, African, and Pacific region. I think Pret-a-Porter is French for ready to wear, or along those lines. She has served many years as a special needs teacher to students in the Washington, D.C. area and New York City before returning home to Jamaica with her husband, Matthew. They now live in the mountains of Manchester, Jamaica, where her artwork continues to be inspired by the beauty of her island home. Now, welcome. Thank you so much, Claudette Lopez Lewis, for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Dervan. A real pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you. And this is a rare collection of Jamaican talent, isn't it? A rare collection to tell us about the Wear collection, or the Wear Collective, of course. We want to start with you, Dr. Coke. How did you get involved with the Wear Collective?
Well, as you know, I have very strong roots in rural Jamaica. You have interviewed and gotten to know my late grandmother, Cicely Morris, who, as you mentioned, raised me in Clarendon. And so I've always had a very strong affinity to things of the rural setting. And so being raised on a farm. And so when we settled in St. Elizabeth and we saw these wonderful historic structures, these Spanish wall structures made of red earth, lime, and timber that were in various states of disrepair and decay, and knowing the history that is locked in them and the talent that was required to build them by the immediate descendants of enslaved Africans, I called on some friends, and we all had the same thought. We have to do something to preserve these wonderful structures that are indicative of the greatness of Jamaican culture and the importance of heritage preservation. So Anne Hodges, who is a friend of mine who also built my house in St. Elizabeth, she and I spoke, and she knew Carol, and that's how things kind of got started. And as you know, Dervan, these activities that are done, I think with integrity and passion, they're unstoppable. And I think that's the stage where we're at.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And Carol Campbell, how did you become involved with the Wear Collective?
Quite. I don't want to say by accident, because I don't believe in accidents. Yes. I believe that an idea whose time has come will find the right person. And it happened that we were all invited to Courtney's house for lunch on New Year's Day, about 3-4 years ago. And in the conversation, it turned out that we all had a common interest in heritage preservation and architecture. And it was one of those, well, why don't we? And, famous last words.
Yes. And that's that. The rest, they say, is history, right?
Yes.
And I guess you were at that lunch to Claudette Lopez Lewis?
No, but I shall certainly be at the next one.
well, tell us your story, becoming a part of the Wear Collective.
Well, I've known Carol for quite a while, and we actually sat in a committee trying to redevelop the fashion industry in Jamaica, because as you probably know, our factories are lying fallow at this time in the Marcus Garvey area.
Yes.
And we were trying with the Ministry of Industry and Commerce to revitalize it. And unfortunately, it didn't come to much. But our friendship developed, and I have admired her work for years. And I just think she's a lovely person. So if she said to me, Claudette, jump, I would say, how high, Carol? And so she invited me to be a part of this, and I couldn't say no.
Yes. That is quite clear. So tell us now, Dr. Cook, let's bring some more people into the loop. When we speak of wattle and red earth, what is the significance of wattle and red earth, and ultimately the formation of this organization, this movement, the Wear Collective?
Yes. So the symbolism behind that name, in our discussions, we wanted to pull together a name, a concept that embodied the traditional arts and crafts, appreciating the traditional arts and crafts in Jamaica. So, as you know, wattling is a way of weaving fibers together, things that are not naturally woven together, right? So you're bringing together these disparate items, and you're weaving them together to be tight and to serve as something that holds other things, something that helps to sometimes even strengthen other things. As wattling is also used for structures, but it is used for baskets. So it's that process of weaving and bringing together, creating a fiber, creating a structure.
All right, hold that point. Let's take the break and come back in just a moment.
Teach your children.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday, right here on Power 106 FM.
This Wednesday, October 6th, the Jamaica Stock Exchange presents its Investor Education Week Conference. Join Real Business with Ralston Hyman and Dr. Andrea Sutherland from 9 to 11 a.m. with information on the importance of investing, turning salary into wealth, how to buy and sell shares during COVID, and much more. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Stock Exchange, 40 Harbor Street, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Jamaica Stock Exchange's Investor Education Week Conference. This Wednesday, October 6th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
And so please always held short, them with your.
Claudette Lopez Lewis is an experienced textile artist, fashion and costume designer of international repute. Carol Campbell is an award-winning jewelry designer and goldsmith with more than 45 years of experience in the field. And Dr. Courtney Cook is the medical director of radiation oncology at Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin, Illinois. What do they all have in common? They're part of this movement, the WARE Collective, W-A-R-E, Wattle and Rare, I beg your pardon, I'm always tempted to say that, Wattle and Red Earth Collective. It's a non-profit, charitable Jamaica-based organization, and they have been promoting the preservation and education of traditional arts and sustainable building methods throughout southern St. Elizabeth and by extension Jamaica. One of those methods, Dr. Cook, you are explaining the wattling and putting different or disparate pieces together to create a structure. Dr. Cook?
Yes. And can you and your listeners hear me clearly?
If we did increase your volume on the board, but if you can help us from your end in terms of increasing your volume, that would help as well.
Okay. All right. To make sure. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Thank you. And of course, basking weaving is indigenous to the St. Elizabeth area, which is where a lot of our work has started. But so that's where the concept of wattling, not just the action, but also the idea of bringing things together like that. And then, of course, a lot of the structures in the area in southern St. Elizabeth are made of in this technique called Spanish walling, where they combine red earth with white lime to make a mortar, and they put that in between stones. So the structure that is made in a timber frame is what would comprise a Spanish wall structure. And we just find it so significant that the same earth that people were using to farm and to feed themselves is the same earth that they're actually using, the same dirt to find shelter, to shelter themselves. So that is where this whole concept of wattle and red earth came about.
Mm-hmm. And Carol Campbell, how do you see your role, whether assigned or otherwise, in this movement?
Well, currently I am curator for the art that's coming up, and this auction really is just great fun.
You have to share that one with us, Claudette Lopez Lewis. But anyway, go ahead, Carol Campbell.
The auction to raise funds to rebuild this 120-year-old house that we deconstructed in January.
Deconstructed meaning what? You pulled it apart?
Yes, brick by brick, stone by stone, post by post, and my job in the deconstruction was to record and label everything.
My word.
So all the components have now been safely stored and are awaiting reconstruction on a new site.
Oh.
And so that is the purpose of this auction. It's difficult to deconstruct a house because this is not a demolition. Okay, it was really deconstructing so that you record exactly where what was and what the material was. So if you need to replace it, you're replacing it with similar materials.
That sounds like a full-time job. Goodness.
Believe it or not, we took the house down over a weekend. Even had help. Yes.
A weekend.
People in the crew.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had architects and engineers and stuff on the team, so everybody knew what they had to do.
Yeah, I think Dr. Cook, you're asking Carol Campbell a question.
We got this a couple of weeks' notice, right?
I didn't get that, Courtney.
I was saying we just got a couple of weeks' notice.
Yes. Where the house was a property that was sold, and the new owners didn't want the house. So
So instead of them demolishing the house, you took it upon yourselves to say, okay, we'll take the house brick by
Yes.
brick.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
we're not known for doing things small.
Clearly not.
So the auction that's coming up, and by the way, it's not August, Dervan, it's October.
I said August. Oh my goodness! What's wrong with me? I need some rest. Goodness!
You seem so.
I can't believe that. Jeez, forgive
So
me.
it's October 17th, which is Heroes Weekend in Jamaica here.
Yes.
So it's the Sunday of Heroes Weekend, and it is going to be fabulous. Everybody needs to register so they can get a copy of the catalog. The catalog is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And trust me, when people see this catalog, they're going to have a totally different concept of what auction is.
I can well imagine.
Well, we have every kind of art up for auction, including painting, the regular stuff, painting, sculpture, etc. We also have textiles like Claudette pieces. We have two textile artists actually, one who's a weaver, one who's a quilter, and Claudette who does textile surface design as well as fashion design. And we also have photography. There are over 45 artists, and a lot of them are very well known, very accomplished in their own right, professional. And we also have people who are doing heritage crafts. Like we have a fabulous basket maker from the St. area, and he has done this fabulous wicker basket, which he called Big Mama. When you see it, you will know why. And yes, there's also jewelry.
Yes.
There will be some of my jewelry there, as well as jewelry from another artist from Treasure Beach, Veronique. Yes. And I don't know what we won't have.
I can just imagine. So Claudette Lopez Lewis, what's going to be the? I mean, Carol has told us about pulling apart a house brick by brick. Mm-hmm. So what have you pulled apart or are going to be putting together?
Well, first of all, I only work in natural fibers.
Oh.
So I don't use any synthetics at all.
Mm.
And everything starts out white, and then I put the design on it. But I have to also say that my pieces were fabulously modeled by Miss Campbell.
Ooh. And she has the flair, I'm looking at a picture on the website, and she stands out. Yes.
Oh, brilliantly.
All right. So let's talk about the auction now, Dr. Cook. For those listening, they're excited, they're intrigued, they're fascinated, they want to learn more, they want to experience this auction on October the 17th. Dr. Cook?
Yes, Dervan. So it's, as Carol was mentioning, it's going to be an event. Mm-hmm. We will feature not only these works of art that will be for sale, but we, in typical Weir style, we want to make it an event that is we're connecting to Jamaica, mm-hmm. The Jamaican diaspora, and also internationally, of course. So we will have vignettes of people, artists speaking, of people who are interested in heritage and heritage preservation speaking. But the feature focus, of course, is to sell these works of art and to raise funds for the reassembly of this Spanish Wall house that we want to repurpose. We want to repurpose to be used in a way that people can go inside of this type of a structure, Dervan. They can see the walls. They can see how things were done. They can relax for a little bit in this type of a structure. It can be, parts of it could be someplace where one could have a coffee and look out at the beautiful South Coast. So that is what we want. We want it to be an interactive structure. But to get there, we have to raise the money to do it. So if people want to go to wareauction.com, that's WARE auction.com. That's where you can reserve your place and register for this auction. I would also be remiss if I did not mention Creative Building Finishes, as all these events. I mean, there are a lot of behind the scenes activity. They have been very, very helpful and very, very supportive of us in helping us to produce and what I mean to say is to sponsor this radio broadcast. The Creative Building Finishes. We are very, very grateful to you.
Mm-hmm. And Claudette Lopez Lewis, what would you say to those listening who are perhaps wavering? They're not sure. Should I not? Why should they log on to Ware Auction and experience the offerings on Sunday, the 17th of October?
Well, it's a visual cornucopia of talent. And I cannot see how anyone could go onto that site and not want to pick up just about everything that's up, on for auction. Carol, I know I've just met Courtney, have done something that I think is so vital to what Jamaica needs. I was on PriceSmart, the category, the shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is imported. Just about everything is imported.
Yeah.
We need to let people know that just because it comes with a label outside doesn't mean that what we are doing is any less valuable. As a matter of fact, it's even more valuable. And I hope that people will understand what Carol and Courtney are putting together and exposing them to, because they know what is already out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many Jamaicans do.
Yes.
So it is vitally important.
And Carol Campbell, what does this event mean to you, and how are you hoping it will be received by the general public who would be logging on at home and abroad?
Well, I hope to transmit the excitement to people who log on that we're feeling. It's a top shelf auction.
Mm-hmm.
That is not your regular stuff. Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, the artists who are participating are at the top of their game.
Yes.
And the work that is in this auction is spectacular. I'm really encouraging people, even if you have never heard of some of these names, just register so you can see the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the catalog, I know you're going to be so impressed. You're going to want to share it with everybody who you know.
One moment, please. We're really supposed to be wrapping now. Just a moment. Let's take the break and come back and wrap.
The one they picked. The one.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Waiting on your receivables. Waiting to purchase raw materials to fulfill your next order. Waiting to get paid for goods already sold. 60 days, 90 days, invoices way past due. What if you could be insured for up to 85% of your domestic and foreign receivables? So that if you don't get paid on time, your biggest priority, your business, will not have to wait. Trade credit insurance. Insurance worth having. Credit without waiting. Exim Bank. By helping businesses, we save lives and livelihood.
The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight, and with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up, no. We put up a fight, we got to be ready. The storm's getting traded. Just said, don't you worry. Living in the positive.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your Legal Corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. We're getting ready to wrap our discussion with the medical director of radiation oncology at Advocate Sherman Hospital in Elgin, Illinois, Dr. Courtney Cook, Jamaican-born award-winning jewelry designer and goldsmith with more than 45 years experience in the field, Carol Campbell, and an experienced textile artist, fashion and costume designer of international repute, Claudette Lopez Lewis. They are continuing the planning and preparation for a major event happening on Sunday, the 17th of October. It's the Wattle and Red Earth Collective. The Wattle, W-A-T-T-L-E, and Red Earth Collective virtual art auction. More than 100 works by leading artists from Jamaica and the diaspora. And the idea behind Wattle and Red Earth Wear Collective is connecting art and heritage. Connecting art and heritage. And this virtual art auction is going to be key in providing the financial resources to be able to lead the preservation of this rich heritage of ours. That's where it's at. So then, make a note of it. The 17th, Sunday, the 17th of October. What time, Dr. Cook?
The time is between 2 and 5 p.m. and they can register at Ware Auction, W-A-R-E Auction, AUCTION.com.
Mm-hmm. And have you found a location for the relocation, Carol Campbell, of this structure?
You have to ask Courtney that.
All right. You sound like a fun group of people to be around.
We are. That's what he's doing.
Go ahead, please, Courtney Cook. You tell us.
Yes, we have a very strong prospect right there in Southfield, and we are currently, let's say, in negotiations, in very strong negotiations to as a place to place this structure, to repurpose this structure. So things are looking excellent.
That is great, and I'm already picturing an area which will have the works of not just Carol Campbell and Mrs. Lopez Lewis, Claudette Lopez Lewis, but other artisans, and it could become yet another attraction in Jamaica, major attraction of monumental proportions. Am I overstating it, Carol Campbell?
Not at all. That is part of our vision. Because what we're actually, the long-term vision is to have a living museum, which is not one building that you would normally associate. When you think of museum, you think of a structure that houses artifacts. That's not our idea. What we want is a living museum which consists of a series of different buildings with different purposes, including research and exhibition and concerts and demonstrations and classes and a coffee shop. And, it's an experiential thing where you're experiencing lifestyle that's related to the heritage as well as creating new memories. When I think about that house that we took down in January, it wasn't just a house. And I think everybody who worked on it got that. We're talking about a structure that held 120 years of experience and memories, and that's something that we build on and carry that forward to create new memories in a new structure.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to Sunday, the 17th of October, and I'm sure you're going to be as busy as a bee, Claudette Lopez Lewis, on that day, and I'm sure you're getting busier leading up to that day.
Dervan, I was just thinking of something. The ware, the water and red dirt.
Yes.
When you look at the catalog, it is so representative of ware. You have ceramics, you have basketry. I mean, it's just, I think the whole theme and the whole vision is just absolutely divine, Dervan.
It's a rich collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
And you seem to have gotten very good support, Dr. Cook. I'm looking at the list of artists participating in the virtual auction on Sunday, the 17th of October, and I'm thinking, whoa, this is amazing.
Yes, it's quite. I mean, you use the word momentum, and I think that is a very appropriate word for it. It's very infectious. What we're doing. So, from Grosvenor Gallery, where the auction is going to be held. I mean, they're one of our major sponsors. The John Duncan Foundation, JMB, DVCAI, Dad Provide Cultural Arts Incubator in Miami, and even Got Creative, the production company, and certainly you, Dervan, Dervan Malcolm. Thank you so much for agreeing to give us this platform, which to tell Jamaica, the world actually, about what's going on in Jamaica. So thank you very much for continuing your support with us. Because as Carol and Claudette were saying, I mean, to see these Jamaican artists in this catalog, this is Jamaica. This is what we are about.
Yeah,
so,
this is the best of Jamaica.
That's right.
It really is.
Indeed. Well, we know you are busy people. We're not going to take up any more of your time. For the time being, we'll have reason to interact with you again going forward. But in the meantime, congratulations to you. Well done. I always like to paraphrase our national pledge to play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. And surely you could have taken your talents elsewhere and enjoy everything that's happening elsewhere, as opposed. But you have made that conscious decision to concentrate your energy and no doubt resources in making this a reality, the Ware Collective, and going beyond just meeting and having lunch, but taking it to another level. And
sounds like you want to be there too.
I'm just saying, why not? So listeners, mark the date, the 17th, Sunday, the 17th of October. And all you need to know is, let me see if I remember now, wareauction.com. .com, wareauction.com. So you go to wareauction.com and start the process, start experiencing, start exploring, start learning, and start preparing yourselves for that special afternoon, 2 to 5, and we will be live on Power 106 FM.
Lovely.
As well, and we're definitely looking forward to the experience. But you are real treasures of this country. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do, and we look forward, as we said, to more engagements. And we are always happy to provide the platform to get the word out there, because after all, it's who we are. It's a rich collection of people, cultures, experiences, works, etc. And we're looking forward to really soaking it up on Sunday, the 17th of October.
Thank you so much, Dervan.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Dervan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best. See you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. Listeners, a rich collection of Jamaican talent. Claudette Lopez Lewis, experienced textile artist, fashion and costume designer of international repute, known for her unique, eclectic style. You also heard from Jamaican-born Carol Campbell, an award-winning jewelry designer and goldsmith with more than 45 years' experience in the field, with an extensive international exhibition record. And of course, Dr. Courtney C. Coke. The connection is that years ago, we found out that his grandmother was an avid listener to both sides of the story and Power 106 FM, and her daughters arranged for us to meet her on a Saturday, and we brought her into the studios of Power 106 FM, interviewed her, and then played. Because she was a centenarian. I'm trying to remember at what age she transitioned, but she definitely lived for more than 100 years. She was the one who taught us a couple of gems. One that says, let me see if I can remember now. Help the weak if you're strong. Help the old if you're young. Keep a guard upon your tongue and own a fault if you're wrong. And another one that says, oh gosh, if you want to reach the top, you must climb the hill. Can't remember the rest of it right now, but that's the connection. And we eventually kept in touch with her and her family and Courtney and his explorations. And here we are. There's more after the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We Got to be ready, cause stocks getting traded. Just said, don't you worry, living in the positive.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskell from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Crosskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. And know they love you. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:04. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:04. Hiện tại, thời gian là 4:04. 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello to Inez Iona Campbell. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for tuning in. Lorna Fairweather. Good afternoon. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Thanks for the historical update at the start of the program. You're welcome, Lorna Fairweather. Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester says, good afternoon to you too, Nicola. Melinda Grant, good afternoon. She says, Mr. Malcolm, please help me to wish my daughter, Michaela, a happy 13th birthday. Much thanks and God bless. Well, happy 13th birthday to Michaela, and blessings to you, Michaela. All the very best. Quincy Brown says, good afternoon. Our cultural heritage is similar. St. Elizabeth and the Cayman Islands, where I'm from. We still need to schedule that interview, Quincy Brown. Let's see if we can do that sooner rather than later. We'll talk off air, but it's good to have you on board as usual. Rose McIntosh in London, good afternoon. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us here on Both Sides of the Story. Let's go to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5 are the numbers. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Oh, yes. Thank you for calling back.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I appreciate it immensely. Let me first of all thank you for that very excellent, informative, and very incisive discussion that you had with Dr. Cook, Carol Campbell, and Claudette Lopez Lewis. I am urging my fellow Jamaicans to register and to log on October the 17th. I will do so. It will be historic in my views.
Yeah,
excellent discussion, Dervan.
Thank you.
Very, very good. Before I move on to the last issue, Dervan, I do not know if you saw the Gleaner of September the 25th. It stated that a $70 million marathon located in St. James, along with 5 motor vehicles, were restrained on December the 24th last year. And it stated that the man whose name it was listed under is currently before the court on drug and money laundering charges, is the SID. And it stated that 7 of the vehicles were traced to a former senior executive at a local financial institution who was accused by United States authorities of being a significant part of a local lottery scam syndicate in Jamaica that fleeced elderly Americans out of approximately $1 million United States dollars. I do hope that in moving forward, that more charges can be leveled against those persons who are involved in lottery scamming and cyber crimes, because many persons are not aware that these categories of crime continue to increase significantly on a monthly basis. But the SID, along with CTOC and MOCO, are endeavoring, with the required help of the citizens, providing them with information to go after the masterminds. The Financial Investigation Division is empowered under the Proceeds of Crime Act to use the Assets Recovery Agency to apply to the Supreme Court for an order to restrain assets traced to individuals suspected of being involved in major criminal activities and later to have them forfeited. So the SID can restrain assets and they can forfeit assets. To the last issue, Dervan.
Yes.
I would like to commend, applaud, and congratulate the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Honorable Paula Llewellyn QC, for being...
Sounds like you've given her an OJ as well.
Yes, I think she was accorded the OJ. Was she not, Dervan?
I must have missed that.
Oh, as far as I know, she's a Queen's Counsel.
A Queen's Counsel for sure, but the term honorable would be if you were accorded the Order of Jamaica.
Oh, I thought that the occupant of that office is normally referred to as the honorable.
No. Just like the holder of the office of the leader of the opposition does not carry the title of honorable. In fact, but there's a tendency, I know, when people are putting on functions and they have members of the opposition as speakers, they tend to put the honorable so and so. That title doesn't apply to opposition members.
I see. Thank you for the correction, Dervan. I apologize for that error. She is undoubtedly one of the most hardworking and accomplished DPPs. And what I admire about her is that she is quite open and transparent and accountable to the Jamaican people through the media. I saw a report in the Gleaner newspaper dated September 16, 2021, which stated Exodus rocks DPP's office. And the report claimed that approximately 13 prosecutors from her office have resigned over the past 7 months or within a 7-month period.
That sounds like a story I've read before, meaning yes, this has happened before.
Yes, but that is inaccurate, because according to Miss Llewellyn, 4 of the prosecutors were promoted, 6 resigned, and 1 was seconded. So it was inaccurate for the Gleaner to publish that 13 prosecutors departed from the DPP's office.
So the DPP has since corrected that. Is that it?
Well, she stated, yes. What she has stated in the story is that that number was inaccurate.
Oh.
And the story went on to state that there were problems within her office based on those
numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But she made the point that I make no apology for embracing the work ethic that I embrace. Anybody who does not wish to embrace that work ethic, they are free to go and to do something that is less taxing, she said. So, and the point was made that the Crown Council paid salaries between $2.2 million to $2.7 million per year plus allowances. I think that there is a need for some upgrading there.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Surely that what that does is to keep them there for a short space of time to be able to add to their resume that they worked in the office of the DPP, which means their stock will go up when they leave the office of the DPP to go elsewhere to seek employment or to become a partner in a law firm.
Yes, and the fact of the matter is that Miss Llewellyn has accomplished much. When she went to the DPP's office, there were 27 Crown Councils. There are now 58. And I think the point that she's making, the germane point, Dervan, is that there is no mass exodus from the DPP's office, but those persons who are not willing to put in the necessary work with those cases can go. We have, generally speaking, in this country, Dervan, many persons seem to shy away from working very, very hard. The hard work ethic is missing in many areas in Jamaica. But one thing that can be said about the erudite Paula Llewellyn is that she is a tireless worker. So in closing, I do hope that a senior government minister stated that in a not too distant future, some extradition warrants will be coming to Jamaica for some high-value Jamaican lottery scammers. Excellent news. I hope that they will be extradited according to law. Here in Jamaica, though, what needs to be done, when they are convicted, the sentences need to be much more longer, and the fines which are attributed to those offenses, Dervan, lottery scamming and head crimes, they need to be extensively increased. Thank you so much, Dervan, for taking my call. Have a pleasant afternoon to you and your listeners. Always appreciate speaking with you.
Thank you. Same here. Take care.
Yourself, because the past.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
ATC Freight and Shipping is here for you during this COVID-19 pandemic. Whether you ship commercial cargo, crates, full container loads, less than container loads, barrels, or personal boxes, we can handle. We offer services from China, Canada, Panama, Curacao, and through our agency, we offer worldwide shipping services. Low and competitive rates with professional customer service. Give us a call today, 876-630-1515. ATC Freight, the service professional. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your legal corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID 19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID 19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID 19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID 19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. Cause time's getting treated. Just said, don't you worry.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:18. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:18. Sciences. TDN le. Ce dien sure ba fen. 18 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Blessed noon.
Good afternoon.
Where's everything, Honorable?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Give thanks to the mighty life giver, no?
Yes, indeed. I have a story for you. I have a story for you. Let me see now. Right. 1959 in Jamaica. 1959. Curtis Rainford of 7B 12th Street in Trenchtown, St. Andrew, entered a taxi cab on West Road and ordered the driver to take him to Ethiopia. Okay. When the driver tried to get him to leave the vehicle, Rainford told him, "I have captured this car and it must take me to Ethiopia now." The driver still refused to move, and Rainford damaged the door and other parts of the vehicle and only desists when residents nearby called the police, who placed him under arrest. So he thought that he could get to Ethiopia on the continent of Africa by commandeering a taxi cab from Trenchtown. Just thought I thought of you when I came across this story.
Okay. Yeah. For some are sick and some are sad, and some have never loved thee well, and some have lost the love they have. So some are sick and some are sad, you know. Yeah. So we give thanks to the great physician, the mighty healer, who come to clothe us in our rightful mind, pointing us to Africa, the strength and pride of an African sovereignty. 7 and 9 miles of Black Star Line are coming in the harbor. And all who can pay them fear right now must do so, you know. Do everything Africa, not in Jamaica here, you know.
Oh, so you have you have changed your position. Then all who can pay their fare, meaning if I can pay my fare, I should head to Africa.
Of course, I didn't say I've never changed my position from that. That's what
Remember, you were always saying that Queen Elizabeth must pay. Queen Elizabeth must pay.
No, not pay. Provide transportation. All who benefit from the slave trade to the poor and the have-not.
Right.
And
So I'm saying
you have no helper.
You're changing your position now. You're saying those of us who can afford to pay our way should just pay our way to Africa.
Yeah, but we are talking about them and those who have no helper. The man on the sidewalk, you know. That's why changing to international repatriation, you know.
All right. So those who don't have the resources, who don't have the means, who don't have the money, then the state should provide transportation, the government.
Of course.
Which you call Queen Elizabeth government.
Oh, you know that this government is Queen Elizabeth government, though. She's the head of state, and she owns Jamaica. She's the Queen of Jamaica.
Right.
And currently, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is her Prime Minister. Just say she appointed him to be Privy Council, you know, advisor, you know.
Yes.
So, Queen Elizabeth executive power is vested in our Prime Minister here, Andrew Holness, you know, and our cabinet, you know. That is the reality.
Yes.
Yeah, so as I said before, who can find them here with free producer, you know?
So that is the breaking story this afternoon. You're declaring...
From long time.
No, man, it's the first time I'm hearing you say that. Come on now. What you were saying before is that the Queen and her subjects, including the government of Jamaica, they must find transportation. They must find a way to transport those who want to go back to Africa, Now you're saying those who can find the fare to go back to Africa, find the fare and go.
Yeah, as one writer say, I shall an ill win upborn to Zion, to heaven I say no more size, Celestia, Jah, Rastafari. But we are here to fulfill the voice of Marcus Garvey, you know?
Yes.
Because people come down here, you know, so we have to return by ship, you know.
All right.
We are out on the ocean sailing to our home beyond the tide.
Yes, indeed.
Man, 10 million now are safely landed over on the Golden Shore, most I Celestia, Jah, Rastafari. Let us get to the point we are call about still.
Well, when you remember, you can call back.
I know it now.
Oh, you remember? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So me I say, you hear news, the MOU in Jamaica here.
The what?
The MOU, Ministry of Health.
MOH is the Ministry of Health.
MOH, pardon, MOH.
Yes.
Pardon, urging the people them to any adverse effect them have must report it.
No, but they've been saying that from the very outset. That those, they've said that from the beginning. In fact, what normally happens after you're vaccinated, and I guess you'll find out when you go for your vaccine. But after you're vaccinated,
I must back out to the system, man. I must back out to the system there, man. Let me continue.
But anyway, after someone is vaccinated, they usually ask the person to remain seated or remain in that position for, I think, 10 to 15 minutes for observation. So that in case, which is the good thing is that they for those who take the vaccines, the good thing is that those who administer the vaccines, as I've found, most of them or a lot of them are doctors. They're medical doctors. And so they are well placed after having administered the vaccine to know what to look for, certain signs, etc. So they observe the newly vaccinated people, and then they give them, at some point, they give them the green light to go. So from the outset, they have said, you're naturally going to have side effects, but if the side effects are beyond just a little sniffle here or a little cough there or whatever it is, if the side effects are appear to be beyond that, then by all means report it if it's a significant side effect, because then they need to act quickly.
And you know that them would say the vaccine is safe, the media, and
Yeah, but hold on. No, but hold on now.
The vaccine is safe.
But hold on
so
now.
How comes now them say to have no adverse effect? You must support it.
Because it's universally accepted, and from way back, from the very early days of the vaccines, way back when, from that time, there have always been side effects. Because remember now, this is an antibody going into your body. So there's
why you're not a doctor.
so
You can't say that not me here. They say, because you're not a scientist or a doctor. So they say, but you have no proof. You have no proof of it. Anyway, John, get on quiet. Go and talk still.
Yes. Right. So no, it's coming from forever. Forever. That has been the situation, because this thing is interacting with your immune system. And so you must expect something. It's going to trigger your immune system to respond, or it's going to, and in doing so, it's going to help to boost or bolster your immune system. So there are likely to be effects of that combination, that combination of your immune system and the vaccine.
How much people reported now were dead in the country after taking this vaccine?
All right. Now, remember now, one thing follows. No, hold on. Yeah, man, I heard you. One thing following another is not necessarily an indication that one caused the other. So if I were to clap my hands right now and the light in the studio goes out, it doesn't necessarily mean that the light went out because I clapped my hands. It could very well be that JPS decided to pull the plug at that time and the light went out at the same time as I clapped my hands. So someone dying at some point after having been vaccinated is not an indication that the vaccination caused the death, unless you can scientifically, medically prove that was the cause of death. Because remember, there are times when people die and there might be a gunshot wound, a stab wound. One has to find out, was it the gunshot that killed the person, or was it the stab wound? So it has to be investigated, which is why with the data that the Ministry of Health sends out on a daily basis, you're seeing that they put, for example, the date, let's say from September 29 to October 3rd. These people were confirmed. It was confirmed that these people died from COVID-19, and that's how they arrive. You have to do the examination of the body and all of these things to determine how the person died. You can't just say, oh, well, the person died after he or she got the vaccine, so is the vaccine killed the person? No, that's not how it is. Hold on, don't move. One moment, please.
Slowly go by.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Did you know that the National Irrigation Commission Limited is the sole authority for irrigation systems in Jamaica? The National Irrigation Commission Limited enables the improvement in agricultural productivity through the provision of efficient and affordable irrigation to farmers and other customers. Contact them 977-6624 or 977-6727 or visit their website www.nicjamaica.com to learn more. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. on to midnight.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question. I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Look like she did love me to me. but me still, me say, she push me out, so do my best anyway.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up, no. We put up a fight. We got to be. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself.
Que hora es en español? Son las 5:27. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:27. Tien在 TDN 了5点 cha r 17分. 27 minutes to 5 o'clock. Make that 26 minutes now to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Yes, sir. Please go ahead and respond. Are you there? Is he still there? Hello? We lost him. I think he has had his fill for the day. Thank you very much for the call. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello to Violet White. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. Blessings to you and yours, she says. And Sophia Nemard is connecting with us from Newell in St. Elizabeth. We have a couple of WhatsApp messages too, but let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I just call to make a follow-up comment. I have spoken to you earlier to give some endorsement to the vaccine. Now, when I take the vaccine, it's not necessarily what I see or hear on social media or things like that. I take the vaccine on the instruction of my doctor. So in my case, I wouldn't say that my doctor is tricking me or selling me out, because in my case, my doctor is my friend. We went to high school together and university together. And 5-10 years ago, and coming up to now, from the time I have any problem, I go to him. He phone me or whatever it is, and then he write a prescription. I never ask him yet what is on it. I have faith in him. So I don't have to ask him what is that you write. Some people can do, and I think it is good sometimes that you ask, right? I tell my friend that two things. One, what if the doctor tells us there is hypodermic chloride hydroxide? You wouldn't know what it is. I mean, I wouldn't know in any case. Maybe some other people that know. So then, when it comes to the vaccine, I ask him, And he said, yes, I can take it. And he encouraged me to take it. And that is why I take it. I don't have to go on social media or anything to get other people's opinion.
Yes. Yes, your position is quite clear. Quite clear.
And so I follow and I take it because my doctor said.
Yes.
And my doctor has been giving me advice, not since COVID come in, are you going to treat me and so on, but from the past 10,
Sorry, go ahead.
For the past 10 or more years, he has been giving me advice if I'm sick and so on, so I don't change now.
Right.
I was listening to, I think I can call his name because it's not anything bad I'm going to talk. It's something good. Simon Wenham Kraskill on a program. And apparently some lady, I think her name is Nicki Minaj, was talking out against the vaccine. And apparently persons like she and Buju Banton and others have a lot of followers on Facebook. I don't know where they have the followers. And some people follow her and said they're not going to take it because Nicki Minaj said. Simon said he doesn't have to listen to Nicki Minaj because she takes some injection earlier to increase. Can I talk what the part of her body that she take it to increase?
No. We know the story.
Right, good. So she did she question what that she put in her
body?
Her body to increase that particular part of her body. And the point I want to make now, what Simon said is, a person might like Nicki Minaj the way she sings, not to give me medical advice. So the same thing applies to Buju, for example. And to me personally, Michael Jackson, I like him song them or something like that. I don't like him lifestyle. And I don't like when he live, but I like him music. And another one is Elton John. Man, that man, I'd love to hear him sing so. But I don't like his lifestyle. I'm not like his on. I like Bob Marley music. But some of the words that him talk, I don't like it. But I like his music. So I don't have to take advice from Buju or Nicki Minaj and so on. And while you were talking a while ago to the Rastaman, he was saying to you, say, so they say, and he's saying to you that you are not a medical doctor or something like that. But he's not a medical doctor neither. So he's going and buy, so they say. So it's one and the other.
Yes.
Right? So that is I said that is, I don't have to listen to Buju to get advice from him as to what I should take and should not take. Right? Because I know him as a singer, otherwise in terms of his life, I don't take advice from him. Now Nicki Minaj.
Right.
I don't follow them my lifestyle. I like Michael Jackson sing, but I don't like his lifestyle.
Yes.
I love Elton John dearly, but me like how him I don't, his lifestyle already. I don't like it.
Yes.
But I like his music.
Right.
Same with Bob Marley. I like Bob Marley music, but some foolish talk, I don't agree with it.
Yes.
All right.
Your point is made. Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And I think we have, is it DJ Roger online now? Roger? Raskava, greetings. You're on.
Man, give thanks for life. A question. You think that if the government were doing tests post-mortem on the people who died after getting vaccine and found out that the vaccine was the cause, you think they will come out and tell the nation?
Absolutely, yes.
Why you think they would?
Because it's their duty. That's like the Hippocratic oath. The Hippocratic oath that says essentially do no harm.
That is what they have written down. But look at the impact that it would have had on the militants and those who never even started with it. If they come out and say the vaccine does cause people to die, how would they accomplish their goals in vaccinating majority?
How would it help them? How would it help them? People die every day, sadly, and people will continue to die every day. There are all kinds of conditions that people have to contend with, all kinds of lifestyle diseases, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, asthma, a whole long list of things. At some point, they are, one way or another, they are likely to be impacted by those conditions. And those conditions are likely to have implications for the strength or lack thereof of their immune system. And they will eat food and they will drink and do whatever else that people do. And they will also take vaccines. But again, unless you can show demonstrably so that there is a direct link between the death of an individual and the taking of a vaccine, then you cannot make such a declaration.
Yeah, what I'm saying, all the other things that caused death from people that you name, it was not forced on them by no one. By their lifestyle, they would have inherited.
And the vaccine was forced on the people who take the vaccine?
It is being forced.
Really? Somebody held a knife or a gun to your head and said, Raskava, come, say the vaccine, or hold out your hand, turn your hand, let me see, and juke you with it. And then next, come here, you, come here. Is that happening in Jamaica or anywhere else in the world, Raskava?
The mental slavery is worse than the physical slavery. So when they are offering this man who don't have no money $10,000, he's forcing that man to go against his own.
The man makes a decision as long as the man has his faculties in order, Raskava. He makes that decision of his own volition.
Yeah, but without that bribe or force, the man would not have done it. But just because
shall we go back to the Garden of Eden? No, shall we go back to the Garden of Eden?
Why you keep cutting off the point before me?
I'm not cutting off a point, Raskava.
What was I about to end up by saying?
Shall we go back to the Garden of Eden?
You want me to answer your question and you don't want to answer mine. That's not how we reason. I will take the reason.
Shall we go back to the Garden of Eden, Raskava?
You have a bird in Ethiopia named in Africa named Sankofa. The bird flies forward while looking backward. It means revisiting your past to go safely forward. So yes, we can go way forward to Eden and we'll say that many have no fruit.
One moment, please.
It slowly go by.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Are you an exporter, a micro, small, or medium-sized enterprise engaged in primary production or manufacturing? Do you want to learn more about the incentives available to the productive sectors? Then join the Jamaica Customs Agency and other entities for an online public forum on incentives and productive inputs relief on Thursday, October 14, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon under the theme Incentives and Productive Inputs Relief. Who stands to benefit? Log on at www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and take your business to the next level. That's the Jamaica Customs Agency's CCC online series. Click, connect, and converse with Customs, October 14 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. This is a forum you should not miss. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Living in the positive.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your legal corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112-5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
And so please help them with your youth. They see the truth.
Que ahora es en espagnol, son las 5:13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:13. Tiens, TDN le Wu Dien Cha Shi San Fen. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Here's a question coming through on YouTube for Raskava from Morgan Morris Morgan. Morgan Morris Morgan says, Raskava, if you don't want to take the vaccine, why do you have a problem with who wants to take it? Yes, Raskava.
What's his name?
The person's name is Morgan Morris Morgan.
Mr. Morgan Morris Morgan, I am not doing anything of the sort. So I didn't tell you that I don't want to take it. Neither did I tell you that I want to. Or I saying anything that should prevent people from taking it. I'm asking a question, and there's no question that is ever wrong, unless you can tell me one. I was saying that politicians make the people them lose trust in them when they say things and don't really manifest it, that it make it live. You know, the guys do it and have done it. This year one in a power, I will make two instances. My very good, respected and respectful brethren, half and half, Mr. Pernell Charles. He come to a meeting and said in his constituency when they were campaigning that he is going to make running water and light go into every household in constituency. And one day I said, Mr. Charles, that's not possible. Because some people live in one area where it go cars to bring in light, go down there for two local people, them will live down there, for them vote can do without. So then now go there. And Mr. Charles, who used to be guest speaker with Black History Month celebrations, talk to me. I respect him same way, because he's a very Afrocentric man, and I respect him, but when you feel more or less, I shouldn't say that publicly. And our goodly Prime Minister said, he might go make everybody sleeping at their house and wake up in the morning alive. Has that been manifested? Look where crime reached. So they will not tell the people anything that they think the people don't want to hear. That's politics. In his normal life, he will honor his words. But when him say things in a campaign, that's what it calls for. You tell the people what they want to hear, not even what you can afford to do or deliver. So I love to tell them what them really and say yes. So they will not come out and tell you how much people died because of the vaccine. Because that's going to make more people get
in your mind, Raskava. In your mind.
In my mind and my mouth to come.
You can't prove it anywhere else. You can't prove it anywhere else. You can only ruminate on it in your mind.
I think that the last nurse, the one before, well, one of the nurses, let's put it that way, that died. When the MOH was interviewed and asked were she vaccinated, he evaded the answer and the question. He did not answer. And the interviewer...
From your perspective.
What does that mean?
From your perspective.
What that mean?
It means there could very well have been a response to the question, but you don't accept the response to the question, and you interpret the response to the question as an attempt to evade the question.
Don't disrespect, man. I've never done that to you. I am a very good listener. I learned a lot from you. I'm a very good listener. The things that are important, miss me. So I am.
And where were the journalists? Where were the journalists to follow up? If
you would have continued to ask him the same question after he evaded it and don't answer.
No. Where were the journalists to follow up?
No, you never bother with it when the man don't want to answer and them say directly say no want answer.
No. That's not good enough, Raskava. Now you're making an excuse for less than competent journalism in order to make your point stick.
I know that was not good enough because if I mean, I let you go tell the answer or say no. Or say yes or say no. Meaning I let you go, but what I don't know, when you have guests as interviewers, interviewee, and you interview them, sometimes you don't pressure them. I don't know why. Not you as in you, but journalists. So that was one instance that him never pressure him with the answer. And I'm saying, then why? Is he hiding something?
Yeah, there goes your mind again, Raskava. There goes your mind.
That's a question I'm asking, and I'm not wrong in asking no question.
Well, it's in your mind for the time being.
Always you have to think about what you say, and you should think about what you say before you say it. You don't just say things that just pop up in your mouth. You have to say it to yourself and listen to it, and if it tastes good, then you say it. Yeah. But I'm still saying that if I was a politician, knowing the hesitance that people have against the vaccine, I will not come out and disclose if one people dead from the vaccine. I will not do it. I not blame them if they not do it. Because it's politically correct thing to do and say.
No, that is corruption, Raskava. That is called corruption.
That is salt in a politics. But anyway, give thanks.
And the people who can make a pronouncement on that are not politicians. Separate the politicians from the health professionals, please.
Yeah, but we are talking about politicians, not health professionals.
Yeah, but it's not for the politicians to make disclosures on how a patient died. It's a doctor, it's a health, and it's not for the minister to make a pronouncement either. It's for the trained professional.
The Minister of Health comes out and make a disclosure of how much died, and
because he got the information from the doctors.
Right. I know that. God is not the mathematician. I go work hard. But a mathematician do when name again?
The person conducting the autopsy.
The mathematician of them do autopsy or them do morgue.
The morticians are they work in the morgue.
Right. So it is who did the autopsy? You got the name they know. That's why I go. We are all human.
Pathologist.
Right, sir. Thank you. That's why I always have to depend on you for so many things. But
you're very kind.
That's how I see it, and my experience is my truth, and your experience is your truth. So we have to balance it and arrive at somewhere up the road or down the road or someplace around the corner.
It still requires evidence, Raskava.
You think you'll get that evidence? And everything that is true, you're going to have evidence to prove it,
Oh.
But the truth.
So how does it become truth in the first place?
Because of your experience. And the person who was not there, imagine when they in charge of the coverage breach, not Grand Market night when me ain't guilty and go to court. Me I tell the man when me go about, he must say, you're lying. And he did it. And me want to change that the judge, but it work out that the police missing in action or missing out of action. And he must name back in word and say, you are free to go home, sir.
So it is.
Give thanks to life again, man, and stay strong and healthy.
Take care.
Good.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Morris Morgan says, every day people die in motor vehicles and people still drive cars. Taki Lemqua says, bless up on the downside, Dervan, and all on board. Greetings here from Patterson, New Jersey. Greetings. The politics vaccines continues. And Taki Lemqua says, it's seriously what's going on going globally. Science can never be one-sided. There will always be alternatives that work. And I believe that's where we're going to leave it for today. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 5th of October, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Goodbye. Teach your children well. Their father's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you are tender. I know the things that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They see the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well. Their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.